week, so let's get started. So the first thing I do want to talk about is all the new Mac hardware that came out. There was about three things that Apple released in terms of new hardware. There was a new MacBook Air, a brand new Mac Mini, and a new LED Cinema display that Apple calls the Apple Thunderbolt display. So let's talk about the MacBook Airs. Now, MacBook Airs got updated, not really design-wise, it really got updated spec-wise. They come with the new Core i5 and Core i7 processors. They have backlit keyboard finally. I know a lot of people are missing that from the previous model, and they start out at $999. They come with one Thunderbolt port for Thunderbolt peripherals and displays, and it comes with Lion pre-installed. So that's basically the rundown of that. 11.6 model starts at $1199. The higher end 11.6 model starts at $1,299. And then you can find all the rest of the prices on Apple.com because I didn't feel like memorizing them for this video. But basically, what I think the MacBook Airs are actually pretty good. Actually, they killed the white MacBook with this MacBook Air. So this is the baseline Apple laptop that you can get if you want a MacBook or an Apple laptop that starts at $999 before moving up to a MacBook Pro. And so the new Apple laptop line is MacBook Air and MacBook Pro. That's basically all you have. You don't have a white MacBook anymore. You can still get them, but you have to get them refurbished. Basically, what else I think about the MacBook Air is I really like the design of it from the previous model. I think the design is perfect. I think Apple's going to try to recreate that design with the MacBook Pros, I think, in this year's refresh when they refresh the design and everything. I really like the backlit keyboard because when people are writing in a dark room, they can see their letters. I know that was a big issue from the last model. And the price is really good. I know when the first MacBook Air came out, it was outrageous, but they really turned down the price. So basically, it's sort of like a laptop. It's not quite an iPad, but has the light and feel of an iPad. And it also comes with Lion, so it's actually a really good operating system on some really good hardware. So you can pick those up today. There's actually a few reviews on it already, and they say it's the perfect notebook. So I think this is a really solid upgrade. I think Apple's going to sell a lot of these. Actually, I read on Mac Rumors the other day that Apple has made about maybe 500 million MacBook Air orders already. I'm not sure, but there's some big number about how many MacBook Airs they have already been ordered. And there's some built-to-order options, but I'm not going to go on that. You can find all that out on Apple's website. Apple also introduced a new Mac Mini. Now, this is the biggest one, in my opinion. This is the one that caught me by surprise. The Mac Mini comes with i7 and i5 processors. They're Sandy Bridge, like the MacBook Air. But the MacBook Airs are ultra low voltage, and these are fully desktop CPUs. But in the MacBook and the MacBook Airs, the Mac Minis have a 500 gig hard drive across all models. So no matter what version you buy, the 599 or the 799 model, they come with a 500 gig hard drive and Thunderbolt. Basically, what I think of this is that the biggest change, in my opinion, is the lack of an optical drive. I think Apple's really trying to push the digital download system. Now, I watched a review this morning that they don't like the new Mac Mini just because it doesn't have an optical drive. Um, my reason is, the reason they put a 500 gig hard drive in there is because when people start to import movies, I think most of the movies now are either from Netflix or iTunes or something like that. They have a lot of space to store them, so they can either download from iTunes and store them on their hard drive without running out of space. Because the Mac Minis usually come with a maybe 320 or 250 gig hard drive. So with a 500 gig, you've got a lot of space to store all your media. And with applications, you can not worry about having disks. Most of the stuff is digital download anyway. And if you ever needed this, you can buy USB drives to install them on. So I think the Mac Mini is not really a bad system. I think a lot of people are just looking at it the wrong way. It's mainly a device for entertainment, but Apple's giving it enough hard drive, so you won't need an optical drive. And most of the stuff that you probably watch anyway is on streaming, and so that's the way I look at it. And that starts at 599 and 799, and they have a server edition that comes with Lion. Um, for $1,000 So that's basically the new Mac Mini. Now the new display that they came out with is the Apple Thunderbolt display. It's basically an updated version of their Cinema display. The design didn't change. It still has a 27-inch screen size, but basically it has three USB ports on the back, one Firebar 400, I believe a gigabit Ethernet port, and a Thunderbolt. Now what's good about this is that if you have a 27-inch iMac, you can hook up actually I think about four displays to it. You can have this 27-inch Cinema display, the actual iMac, you can have another display, but on the back of the 27-inch Cinema display or the LED or the Thunderbolt display, you can have another Thunderbolt port, which you can hook up a mini display port to another computer monitor, and you can have a lot of displays powering. So I really like that. I think the Cinema Display is really good. The only downside I see with it is that you can't use it on non-Thunderbolt based Mac. So if you have a non-Thunderbolt based Mac, if you have a mini DisplayPort Mac, you can't use it. You need a Thunderbolt based Mac, but you can get the regular edition Apple Cinema Display 27-inch on Apple's refurbished site for I believe $849, and the new LED Cinema Display is $999. So I really like all the new upgrades. I think the upgrades are solid. I really like them. So now let's talk about all the good stuff. Lion came out this week also. I'm really happy about that. As you guys can see here, I'm running it right now. I'm really liking it. I really had no big issues. The upgrade is $29.99 from the Mac App Store. So if you want to download that right now, you can. For me, it took about 40 minutes to download and then another 20 to 25 minutes to install the actual operating system. And ever since then, it's been running smoothly. All my applications seem to work. I tested out every single application I have in my dock that's non-Apple, and they all seem to work. The only one that I noticed that didn't work is AOL Radio, but that's just for internet radio, and I don't really care too much about internet radio that much. So I didn't really mind it, so I don't really care. But basically the things I really like about it is that when I was typing my notes in this video, it has the iOS predictive text. So if you guys are familiar with iOS and you misspell a word, the iOS usually picks up your mistake, and it usually says, if you want to correct your mistake, press the spacebar. And that's what I did. I pressed the spacebar on my keyboard and it automatically fixed my mistake. So yeah, that's one thing I do like. It also has the iOS scroll bar. You guys are probably familiar with that if you've seen the demos on the internet. It has the same the visible scroll bars that only come up when you use them, which I think is cool. The other thing I did notice I didn't write down in my notes that I'm thinking about is that the scrolling has been changed. Scrolling is more like an iPad type of scroll, not like a usual type of scroll. But if you have like a Magic Mouse or a Magic Trackpad, you can use the reverse scrolling. But if you want to change that back, there's a system preference pane for that as well. Full screen apps are here. I like the full screen apps. My favorite one, I'm going to show you that right now, is iTunes. I really like iTunes in full screen mode. It's actually really nice. I actually like, using my album artwork and use my full real estate for my music and stuff like that. But one thing I don't like is that when you put your app into full screen mode, if you have a second display hooked up to your computer, you lose that ability to use your second display. So I would like to see it maybe in the next software update 10.7.1 if you can keep an app in full screen, but if you have a second display hooked up, you can use your second display as well as to host other content. So if you're using Safari on full screen mode, but you want to keep a Word document on the secondary monitor, you don't lose that functionality. So that's something I would like to see in full screen mode when Lion when 10.7.1 is released. So let's go back to the desktop. Let's see here. And also, there's new multi-touch gestures. So, if you've been looking on Apple's website, if you watched the WWDC keynote, they had some new gestures in there. Four-finger swipe, I believe, up brings up the launch pad. If you go swipe left or swipe right, you move through web pages and your different desktops on your Mac. And if you're in Launchpad, you can do that same gesture and it goes through all your apps. There's a whole list of gestures on Apple's website, and there's also a whole list of gestures in system preferences as well. So I'm going to give you a quick demo here of some of my the two new favorite features of mine. I'm going to give you a demo of the Launchpad and Mission Control. So what the Launchpad is, it's basically an iOS style way to look at your applications. Now I like it personally better with a Magic Trackpad or a Magic Mouse. I'm using a regular old PC mouse, so I can't really get the full experience of scrolling through your apps. It's that kind of like, it's not like the same experience. But if you have a Magic Mouse or Magic Trackpad, you will feel kind of that like iOS experience. But on a regular PC mouse, it's not really that special. So there's a few different ways you can open Launchpad. You can do a multi-touch gesture in to open it up, or you can hit the button down here, or you can assign a hot corner. I have assigned a hot corner to it, but I'm going to open up via the application button. So once you open it up, this is what you get. You get an iOS grid style of all your apps. So this is all the apps I have here. And you can make folders just like you would on iOS. If I want to take motion and drag it over Final Cut Pro, it creates a video folder, and as you can see, it has the same type of folder design and the same type of layout as iOS. And I wanted to change the name of the folder. I can click on it, and I can call it Final Cut Pro X, and then hit done, and then it creates the Final Cut Pro X folder. And it's the same way if you want to get applications out. Just wait till they jiggle and then drag out. And you got multiple pages of apps. As you can see, I have another page here full of other applications I downloaded, and I have another page. And if you want to delete an application, say I want to delete this application right here, just like on iOS, you click the X, it gives you this little prompt if you want to delete it. And you can hit delete, and it automatically deletes it for you. So that's really nice. So you don't have to go emptying your trash can. As far as I know, every time I deleted an application, it didn't delete. It didn't go into the trash can. It was automatically deleted. So that's what I like. So let's talk about Mission Control. Now, what Mission Control is basically a combined effort of Dashboard, Spaces, Expose on your Mac. So it's basically how you open it is you do that gesture like I told you, that 4-finger swipe up, or you can sign a hot corner, or you can hit the Expose key on your keyboard, or you can hit the application button. So I'm gonna do it from the keyboard, and this is basically what you get. You get your dashboard right here. So this is all your widgets and stuff like that you have running. I don't have much because I don't really use it. You also get your desktop and all your full screen apps. So basically, if I want to open up a few Safari windows here, I'm gonna open up one more. So if I have two Safari windows here, I can go to the Mission Control and I can view them via hitting the spacebar and mousing over them. So if I want to view one and hit one, I just space over and look at one. If I want to move one, if I say I want to bring the Safari window into a totally new different desktop, I can go over here and drag it up to this section right here, and it creates a new desktop. And what I can do with this is I can have multiple applications on, and what's different from this from Snowbird is that you can assign different desktop backgrounds to this. If I want to go into my desktop backgrounds and pick a random wallpaper, I can have that. But if I want to go back into desktop 1, it has the old style wallpaper I had before. So I can have multiple wallpapers on multiple spaces and this new version of Lion. If I want to get rid of this desktop, all I have to do is mouse over it and hit the X. So I think that's really cool. I really like this. I think it's a lot better than Expose and Spaces all together. I think this really sums it all up and really works really well. So that is my opinions on Lion. Overall, I really do like it. I think it's not a must-have upgrade, but it's a good solid upgrade if you really want one. It's $29 in the Mac App Store. I recommend you pick it up if you want a new experience. But if you have Snowbird and if you don't have the money right now, it's not a totally must-have upgrade. But it's something that if you want to buy and use, it's pretty cool to have. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.